Hey guys, and welcome back to another Division video. Now today, I want to talk about a build that is around the gear set Heartbreaker. Alright, now the combination of Kingbreaker and the Closer, which has like perfect spotter and perfect flatline, is nothing new. I've seen it in like YouTube videos a lot. But Ninja Bike Backpack is a new item. Also, I think other people are using different gear combinations, but I'm not sure, man. I mean, there's so many other videos on YouTube. This is like what my setup looks like. For the primary weapon, we have like Kingbreaker. For the secondary weapon, just use an LMG. I with flatline. It doesn't need to be perfect flatline. Sidearm, anything with flatline. 3-piece Heartbreaker. Important thing would be the chest piece, which is Closer, and then the backpack is Ninja Bike, and then one other piece is this one that gives us headshot damage, and since we're wearing a Ninja Bike, it also gives us critical hit chance. Another important thing is the specialization. It needs to be Technician because you get a free attachment that we will talk about later. But anyways, for those people that are just curious of like what the items are, here it is. For the skills, I suggest that since we're like using 5 blue here, I know that's a bit excessive, but you could make that 3 blue, 3 red. But this is also pretty nice. Anyways, you know, I suggest that using shield and reviver is nice. Also decoy is nice too. Anyways, that's it. Let's go with the one on the top first, which is the specialization. For this one, we are using Technician, and make sure that you pick the increased rifle damage 15% because you get this attachment here on the left that gives us the ability when we're aiming at enemies, they automatically get pulsed. Another thing is that you want to put in 15% assault rifle damage because we are using Heartbreaker and we're using Kingbreaker. That is an assault rifle. And lastly, we need the other one, which is light machine gun, because Heartbreaker gear set has like that bonus there. So, you know, make sure that you're using these 3 weapons and unlock this attachment. All right. Now that's out of the way, let's go with the weapon. Now, Kingbreaker is pretty common. I think I got so many Kingbreakers. It's a named item. You could go to Countdown and just farm for it, or maybe open some name caches. This is what my Kingbreaker looks like: assault rifle damage, health damage, and critical hit damage. What this weapon has is this talent, which is perfect flatline. Amplifies weapon damage by 20% to pulse enemies. After 2 kills, amplifies pulse to the next enemy you hit. Now, for the mods, this is like the most important thing here. This is what you get if you are using Technician. You can put it here, which automatically pulses enemies as long as you're aiming at them, right? Really, really nice. For the top mod, we have critical hit chance, and the other one, muzzle, critical hit chance too. This one, it's up to you. This gun has like high recoil. You might want to use this one, stability, or you could use this one, 10 extra rounds. Or reload speed, that's also nice. So me, I'm gonna go with 10 extra rounds, but sometimes I just want to relax and I just don't want to control the gun too much, like trying to reduce the recoil. This one is pretty good too. For the next weapon, I'm using this light machine gun. It has like decent stats, and I just rolled in a flatline here for the talent. And lastly, the handgun, which you probably won't use, it's using also flatline. Okay, so next up, let's talk about the armor pieces. Now, for the mask, I'm wearing Heartbreaker. Now, let's talk about the Heartbreaker set. 2 pieces gives you 15% assault rifle damage and 15% LMG damage. That is the reason why we are using assault rifle, Kingbreaker, and the LMG that has like flatline because of this. The 3-piece bonus is it gives you weapon handling, which is very nice because Kingbreaker does recoil a lot. And the 4-piece bonus is Heartstopper. Headshots apply pulse for 5 seconds, but you don't have to worry about that too much. you could use that attachment from Technician to automatically pulse enemies. Weapon hits on pulse enemies adds a stack of 1% bonus armor and 1% damage to pulse enemies up to a max of 50 stacks. 2 stacks are lost each second. So, just basically just keep shooting enemies and you get a buff on your armor and weapon. The max is 50 stacks and you lose stacks every 2 seconds. All right. So for the mask, the stats are by default. Heartbreaker set rolls in the core attribute of blue armor, so just try to get in critical hit chance and critical hit damage. For the chest piece, I'm using Ozina Getica Closer named item. I have pretty low armor here, but the stats that you want are pretty much the same. For weapons, critical hit chance and critical hit damage, and just try to max out critical hit chance to around 60%, and then just put whatever mod you need there. For this piece, I put in critical hit chance as the mod. Now this piece here has like this talent. Perfect Spotter amplifies weapon damage and skill damage by 20% to pulsed enemies. Now for the holster, again, just put in their critical hit damage or critical hit chance. Backpack, we are using Ninja Bike. I put a critical hit damage mod here. The talent is resourceful, which pretty much fills one gear slot for your other pieces. Now, if you're wearing this closer chest piece, Ninja Bike backpack acts like a second piece to that item or to this item. That's why you have this 10% armor on kill activated. And even if we're like wearing only 3 pieces of Heartbreaker, 1, 2, 3, we activate the 4th bonus, the 4-piece bonus, which is Heartstopper, because we are wearing Ninja Bike backpack. So this is like the talent is about, or what this exotic item is about. Now for the gloves, we are using Heartbreaker 2. Just put in their critical hit chance. And lastly, we have this knee pads, which is Providence Defense. Again, with Ninja Bike backpack, we are activating that second piece bonus here, which is critical hit chance, which is really nice. I've seen like other items that has like critical hit chance. This is the best that I found. Leave a comment below if you have like other combinations. But again, you just want to have like weapon damage and critical hit chance and critical hit damage pretty much the same. If you press M, if you're playing on PC, you can see the stats here. I try to put this critical hit chance as close as possible to 60. Dump the rest of the stats to critical hit damage. Pretty much like any weapon build, right? Next up, the skills. It doesn't really matter too much. You could use whatever skill you want. But since we're wearing like 5 blue cores here by default, I know it's a bit excessive. I would rather have like 3 blues and 3 reds, but these pieces roll with like default blue armor, right? They roll with armor core stat or core attribute, so that's the reason why we have so many armor here, which isn't really bad because the build does decent damage already, even with this tanky looking setup here. If you're using the shield, it is really nice because since we're wearing Ninja Bike backpack, we get a yellow skill tier here. And the 5 blue cores gives us the maximum shield, which is tier 6 shield. So that is very nice. For the mods, I'm using shield health, and let's see here, holstered regeneration. For the other skill, I'm using reviver. You could use other skills as well. I'm just using this for more survivability. Okay, so here we are at the shooting range. Now I just want to demonstrate how the passive and talent works. Since we're using Kingbreaker with the attachment that we get from Technician, which is a linked laser pointer, anything that we shoot and aim will be automatically pulsed. Now, right now you see that enemy, it doesn't really have any pulse. If I start shooting at it, it gets that pulse. Now I will zoom in that pulse effect. It's a bit hard to see because we are aiming at a dummy, but you can see that red aura around it. That means that it is pulsed. All right. The same thing goes for our sub weapon or secondary weapon, the LMG. It also has that attachment link laser pointer, so it's pretty much the same thing. And that's it. Now another thing is the Heartstopper bonus that we get from the Heartbreaker set. Let me zoom in at the bottom. That heart icon right there, if you shoot, you can see it's getting filled up because once we're shooting pulse enemies, it fills up. And the higher the bar, or if it's filled up, we get the full buff. Now the damage right now is 538,000. Also, we get bonus armor. I would zoom that in. If you could see it, that blue armor there. Every time we shoot a enemy that is pulsed, we get bonus damage and bonus armor. Right now, I'm using the perfect spotter talent, closer, and you can see here the damage is 500,038 once it's fully buffed. All right, 538,000. Now, if we change the chest piece to a Fenris, which is a really nice version, you know, it gives you assault rifle damage and reload speed since we're wearing ninja bike backpack. Now, my version of this gear, this piece is not perfect. It has like weapon handling as its second attribute. Ideally, you want critical hit damage there. But even with this setup here, which is weapon handling, critical hit chance, and critical hit chance, it still deals more damage compared to the closer. Alright, and now let's test it. Earlier, the damage on the closer piece is 538,000. If you can see here, the damage on this piece is 553,000. So that's a little bit of higher damage compared to the closer. And instead of like getting total armor and armor on kill, which is really nice, we get a bit of assault rifle damage and reload speed. Also, I think, if you get a piece that is that has critical hit damage here, that would be very nice. You could use this setup too. And another thing that you might want to try out is that if you're wearing this, you might want to wear another Fenris, so you could get that stability there, although you're losing one. Instead of like wearing this, you wear another Fenris, but you lose that second piece bonus. So it's up to you. This gun does recoil a lot, and stability is a pretty nice stat as well. Anyways, that is the build. Of all the builds that I tested and tried putting on together, this build is one of the best, just because you could run around with so much armor and dealing so much damage as well, because of the bonus that you get from the bonus weapon damage that you get from Kingbreaker and the closer, the perfect flatline and the perfect spotter. Also technician, the attachment there that makes you automatically apply pulse to enemies that you're aiming. It's just, I feel it's a bit broken, right? That attachment right there, I think, is the biggest thing, because before, when I got Kingbreaker, I didn't really know these combination before. I was using Night Watcher to reduce the cooldown of my pulse, and I was having fun, but this one just gives you a flat out damage increase by basically not doing any additional effort. In the other one, you still need to attach pulse on your skills and use it every once in a while to pulse enemies, right? I think that's balanced. I think that's how it should be. But this one, you just aim and you get a free pulse. That's like another skill on your skill bar, in addition to those other skills. I just feel that this is a really strong build. Also, Heartbreaker bonus gives you armor, right? Bonus armor and bonus weapon damage. It's just an overall very nice build. For an assault rifle or LMG build, I think this is really strong. If you want to shoot a gun and have like a bit of survivability and damage, it's a bit broken, right? It has like everything. might as well try out this build. I think it's really strong. And yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.